Good morning, everyone. This is the baby right here. About to jump in, go to the store. Got to talk about a few things. Oh, I look like the Unabomber. Okay. Well, anyways, guys, how's it going? So, I want to talk to you guys about the fact that I've hit my first 1,000 miles in my car. I know. I love it. And let me just kind of go along the lines of what I've been going through in the first 1,000 miles. I really do look like the Unabomber, and it's no longer funny. It's kind of creepy, and yeah. I have driven my car to a couple of trips. Had a really good time doing it. I went to California for Disneyland after one day of owning it, which was really weird because my car was definitely very different than the one that I'm driving now. My Scion was a lot slower. It was a lot more manageable, if I can say that, I guess. This car definitely has a bite to it. If you don't know what you're doing, it's going to kick you in the ass. I have traction control on all the time. I did take it off at one point during the trip to Los Angeles, and it was a huge mistake because I actually hit a puddle while turning out of a parking lot, making a right, and the car, it fought back. Didn't do that again. The only time I've ever taken the traction control off is if I want to really feel what it's like to pull on it. I am definitely not the kind of guy that takes this car to the tracks. I will be going to the tracks pretty soon, but it's not going to be for me. I actually just want to go ahead and see what the tracks out here look like in Vegas, since I've never been. And there is an actual Mustang car club that meets out there on Mondays, from what I've read, and I would love to see other Mustangs and possibly get some, pointers and tips from other guys out there, and make some Mustang buddies. So this car on a daily drive is spectacular. I don't think that I have had another car that has driven so comfortably. The 6-speed manual gearbox is by far the most comfortable gearbox I've ever driven. Once again, I will say what everyone else has repeated. I'm not a huge fan of the transmission. Okay, that's one of my only pet peeves. It's very mechanical. It's very loud. It's very clunky. But at the same time, it doesn't give me any problems. As in, it's only an auditory problem. When you pop it into second or pop it into fourth, it just makes a clunk sound. But in terms of the smoothness of it, I mean, I just went through all the gears right now. It's not a huge deal. It feels perfect. I don't feel like there's any give. I don't feel like there's any slippage with the transmission or the clutch. Everything just feels fine. It's just the sound of it. The sound of it for a car that's a newer version of a car, it just seems off to me. Now, having said that, I understand that, Mustangs haven't had 6-speed transmissions with like the Euro style reverse up until these models. So I understand that there are going to be a few problems here and there that we're going to have to deal with. But in terms of its durability, from what I've read and everything, the transmission itself is not bad. It's just the sound of it, the bothersome noise that people get from it. And I completely understand. I agree wholeheartedly. It's not the greatest sounding transmission in the world, but at the end of the day, it's such a small problem to have that I really don't care. St. George trip, which I just added the video earlier today, was awesome. The drive was awesome up until we got into Arizona area. You have to drive out of Nevada, you drive towards the tip of Arizona, the top tip, and then you end up in Utah. In Arizona, there was some sort of construction going on. It was terrible. And so we got there a little later than we wanted to, which sucks because that just meant less sunlight when we were out there. But I think we had a really good time. It was great and it was fun. And once again, the the drivability of the car, the comfort of the car. It really shined. It really did. You know, I drove 9 hours in a Scion TC 2006 with a salvage title and a damaged alignment, and I did not have that great a time in that. But with this car, driving to LA, driving to St. George, awesome. Awesome stuff. So much fun. And I definitely, I have no complaints. I love this car. So now that we went through that, I want to show you guys the leather work. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any before pictures. Maybe I do. I have to see. But I want to show you for sure the after. So this is going to be, just to remind you guys, the bolster, which is the bottom part that holds your back, was kind of peeling off. If any of you guys have ever had a leather seat car, you understand what I'm talking about completely. Also, in the bottom part where you move the seat back and forth, the leather there where you sit down, the leather kind of squishes down and kind of bends to hold your weight. There was a rip right where the plastic met the leather. They replaced that completely. It's awesome. I can't even believe that they would be that great. But anyways, let me show you what it looks like so that you guys can kind of compare. And hopefully if I have some pictures after this editing is done, I can show you before and after. If not, just admire the goddamn leather. All right? Okay. So this right here is the bolster. As you can tell, there are still a little bit of cracks there. But this entire piece was missing leather. It was very peeled, very down, and there are actually a few little marks right there that still show how it was kind of, but this was way worse. And then the bottom part, which is right here, this whole thing right here, there was a line that ripped right through it. The gentleman was clearly a little heavier set. They replaced this entire piece of leather. So that's amazing. This is kind of like the wear that it had. That's how it looks like now. So you guys can only imagine the differences with that. But yeah, that's basically it. So there's the baby right there. And we're off to the store to buy some stuff. You guys have a good one.